This house, at its best, I'd like to think of it as a kind of polemic against bungalow bliss, in that it could be seen to indicate the way that brave modern design can relate to vernacular, but not necessarily be more expensive or extravagant than the parachuted-in images of bungalow bliss one finds elsewhere on the west coast of Ireland.
I worked as a student in an office in Galway, and even then, in the late 70s, the whole of the west of Ireland was being covered in the most pretty hideous kind of hacienda bungalow bliss, blight as we would call it. And since then it's got worse. I mean, as the Irish economy has taken off, the pressures on building have transformed the place.
This site we really like because it's got the sea both sides, and it's got the old cottage. So there's a feeling that you're building something next to the old settlement that was already here. And Richard, yeah, he just sketched stuff on the kitchen table in the house that we were renting, which was similar. It's a sort of conversion of an old cottage where they've sort of given a big central living space, which we liked. So he knew the way we sort of lived there, with a kitchen and a dining room and then a sort of bedrooms up above.
We made a very simple rectangular house, a big family space in the middle where families eat, cook, watch the telly, knock about, and that's how families work these days. And then at either end there are bedrooms and bathrooms and a living room on the upper floor as a kind of retreat from this big noisy space. And then the house itself, in terms of the landscape, was very simple. We just took the landscape, which is dry stone walls, lots and lots of dry stone walls, made a simple house which we then kind of piled up dry stone walls against, using them as a rain screen for insulation. And then we took the architecture of corrugated iron roofs of barns, of which there are many in the area, made a simple corrugated aluminium roof, and then we put a little bit of us in between, of sliding windows and a bit of timber and what have you. So that's it. You just take the ground up and let the sky reflect the roof, and the house sits there kind of enmeshed in the landscape of dry stone walls.
The ring beam, which actually holds the roof in this house, its most dramatic and extraordinary aspect is that it means that the windows can become a balcony by having effectively a disappearing corner, because there has to be no weight-supporting pillar in the corners of the house. And in relation to this room, it means that, depending on the weather conditions, the room can transform into an open space in relation to the outside world, and then perhaps in the evenings or in the winter, close in again with, okay, they're big windows, but closed windows.